Welcome everybody to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Skull Merchant as always, using a really fun and interesting build that actually might be really good. So I recommend you stay tuned to the video. So first things first, we're using Weave Attunement. Very simple perk. What the perk does is basically if a survivor is near a dropped item, 12 meters near it, we see their aura. And if a survivor picks up a survivor item, they also become oblivious for 30 seconds. Really good perk because it combos with our second perk, Franklin's Demise. Very simple perk. If we hit a survivor with basic attack, they drop their item, and the item will lose charges until 9 seconds passes, and they'll lose all the charges. And if the survivor did not pick up the item, then you reveal the aura of all items on the ground that are 13 meters near you. We have Human Greed. Survivor is close to an unopened chest. You see the aura for the survivor for 3 seconds, but it has to be only 8 meters. And we can close a survivor's open chest, and as a result, we can see the aura of the survivor again if they go near it. And lastly, we have Scourge Hook, Flood of Rage. Very simple perk. If we hook a survivor in a Scourge Hook and then they get unhooked, we see the aura of all other survivors for 7 seconds. We have Brown Nose Journey to make survivors oblivious, and Supercharge to make our claw traps last longer. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I want to thank y'all so much for all the support y'all left in the last video where we were talking about the Skull Merchant nerf that's coming in the PTB future. I plan to talk about that also in this video, but the first things first, this video was actually made, well, I made this video because of the fact that someone recommended me to use this build, and that's the reason why I made this video. Someone by the name of Useless, by the way, is the person who asked me to use this build. I noticed that he did say actually to use Hoarder, and for some strange reason, I didn't use Hoarder. I don't know why when I recorded the video, I just decided to use Flood of Rage, because in my head I was like, I want to make an aura build, so I decided to just use Flood of Rage instead of Hoarder. Please forgive me, Useless, but apparently I'm useless, actually. Oops, what I meant to say is apparently I just don't know how to read. So I use Flood of Rage instead, but I feel like it equally will solve the same, give us, like, the same exact result. We'll kill all the survivors. But let's get straight to the game so I can show you how great this build is. Okay, playing on Badham Preschool 3. I gotta tell you a funny story, because let me explain how this game's went. So first things first, this is actually the second game of the video, not the first game. I know it sounds kind of weird, but when I normally record Dead by Daylight videos, I record them all in one sitting, and I play like 2 to 4 games sometimes 5. But normally I always, post them in the order that I ever recorded them in. But in this situation, I wanted to post this game first, because of the dumb things that happened during this game that are going to make you just laugh and also make me suffer by having to witness what happened. So first things first, in case you don't realize, it says L1 at the bottom of my screen. And as a result, that would mean that I'm playing with a controller. And that's because I play on console. And when you play on console, of course, you use a controller. So one thing I hate about console is, I don't know what it is, but lately my controllers have been acting really dumb, and I have 3 controllers. So throughout the entire match, you're gonna literally be seeing my character do dumb things like that, doing a whole 360, not moving in the right direction because my controller is acting dumb. And it made me so mad because I was in the middle of playing and I just can't do anything. Like, I'm literally trying to move left right now. I see the scratch marks, and my character goes in the basement. I literally try and change a different controller. It has an update. Can't change. I change a different controller anyway. I swing, can't turn. I finally able to move. I put a drone down, and I'm like, okay, I can finally play the game for a little bit. And then I'm like, I can't even chase the survivor because the game won't let me turn in the right direction. But luckily for me, because I become untenable, this Fangman ran straight towards me. I'm gonna try and chase her, so I'm like, okay, this should be easy down because she's not gonna drop this pallet. Easy. So I'm about to go chase her, and look what happens. My controller's like, we're gonna go the right direction this time. We're gonna hit her, and we're gonna pick her up. But then the second I hook her, my controller's like, I'm gonna act dumb. And it made me so mad because I was just trying to play the game and use the build, and it was not working as planned, as you'll see later on in the video. But the mirror is saying, why did you post this game in the first place? Your controller acting so stupid. But it's because of the fact that I have a really cool tech I want to show y'all at the end of this game. So I'll stay tuned to the end of the game, digging into the tech. Now maybe I'm just like stupid, but I feel like I don't want to say I'm the only person that said this. No one really plays Skull Merchant, but I feel like this is the first time where I see someone using a really cool tech, and by I see I mean me using it. So I use really cool tech a lot in my videos now, or a lot of my games now. That I found out about it like 3 days ago. I just had a really cool idea. I don't know how they hit, by the way. My controller turned right when I was trying to move forward, but the hit still counted because Dead by Daylight's weird. So I'm happy. But I found this really cool tech with Skull Merchant that I think is really good. And I want to show y'all in the game, but it's gonna be kind of a long game because you're gonna see a lot of struggling to move. So because of Floods of Rage, I saw exactly this right over here. And it's kind of funny, like I said before, I find it funny how I accidentally pick Floods of Rage instead of picking a Hoarder, but either way, the job still gets done as planned. So I'm gonna try and chase this girl, but she's gonna go towards a really annoying part of the map. And I kind of forgot I got rid of this drone. I'm surprised honestly that no one DC'd this game because normally that always happens. I use Floods of Rage to see what the survivors are. I know it's one person going back towards that generator. Right here, I'm gonna try and hit this girl. And then she drops he didn't drop the pallet surprisingly. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and hit her. And look what happens. My controller does a whole 180. So I accidentally swing at nothing. Then I'm stuck in one direction, doing a whole 360. And then I'm just looking at a bush. Like, it just made me so mad. Then I turn back around and try and chase her because I can see her aura because she must have went next to a chest or dropped item. Then I can't move, and I'm like, oh my, this is so dumb. So I'm going one direction. I turned off my controller and turned it back on, thinking that I'll fix the problem. It did not fix the problem, by the way. It did not cause anything. So then I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm pressing every button, and it's just the worst thing on the planet. Like, and if anyone knows like what could be causing this problem, this happened like probably 2 months ago. It started happening 2 months ago. Right here, I'm trying to chase this girl. I'm gonna hit her, and I'm gonna down her, and I'm gonna put her in the basement because the basement is right next to me. I don't know why she ran towards me. Oh, I know why. She's oblivious because of brand new generator. But that's the reason why I have Brown Generator, because I can use that to my advantage. I can see their auras, and also they can't tell where I'm coming from. So I'm gonna try and hook her, and then watch what happens. I'm gonna try and go up the stairs. Can't do it because my controller, I think, stupid. Then I'm gonna stop moving. I'm gonna change the controller and try and change. I purposely update the second controller because at this point I'm like, I'm done. I need my controller to work because like I have 3 controllers. So when the first one's not working, I switch to the second one. The second one's not working, I switch to the third one. The third one's not working, I just switch randomly and try and figure out which one will work. But this is happening a lot for me. If anyone knows how to fix this problem, I'm sorry I'm asking for help on a controller issue in a game of Dead by Daylight, but it's just so sad. So right here, you see me updating my controller as I'm right next to the girl on the hook. And then I get out of the screen, I change controllers, and I can finally try and move. Nope, still can't move. So I'm like, okay, this is dumb. So I switch the controllers for what? I still can't move my character. I'm trying to press every button, it's not working. And then I finally am able to turn. I'm like, okay, I'm chasing this girl. Now, the sorry part thought it's AFK or something, which is kind of funny. But it's just so dumb how I can't even play the game because my controller was active. Surprisingly, that guy didn't drop the pallet. So I'm going to just swing at him. I don't know why he's on driving pallets. Not to mention, I don't know how I'm doing so well considering how half the game I wasn't able to play. But that tells you how good I am. Who needs a controller when you're the best skill merchant on the planet? So right here, I'm trying to chase this girl. I'm hoping my controller decides to actually act correctly. And I hit her. Now, the reason why I said I showed this game first is because first thing I want to show y'all the terrible controller. And also I wanted to show y'all the fact that the tech is going to happen at the end of the game. But also the second game, or the first game technically, my controller didn't act nearly as bad, so it was fine. But this game was just awful. I wanted to actually just like not play the game anymore at this point. Cause I was like, what's happening? But I'm gonna try to go down here, guys. Here's someone on the generator. So I'm like, okay. Then I get stuck on the stupid thing to the railing. But it's fine. I should be able to down them. But at this point, you can't really tell. But at this point, I can't turn left for some reason. And all I can do is like look in one direction and try and move the controller. Because for some reason, my controller is locking me into one direction, so I can't turn. So at that point, I was just trying my hardest to actually hit the survivors. And then luckily for me, they get slowed down. So I'm able to down her. And I'm gonna try and hook her on the scourge hook, that way I can get Floods of Rage later on. And yeah, but like I was saying, if you know what the problem is, like I don't even know what to do. Like I can't send my controller to GameStop because they don't fix controls like that. I don't want to send it to PlayStation or wherever or however I send it to. I just gotta figure out what the issue is, and it's weird. I don't know what the issue is. It's just like I know what the problem is. I just don't know how to solve the problem or why it's happening. Because it didn't happen before. It just randomly my controller decides to be like, I'm not gonna go in the right direction ever. And it's just the dumbest thing ever. And I had to get a new controller. And then after a week, the new controller, I don't even know, after a few days, the new controller stopped working correctly too. So I was like, well, okay. Right here, I'm just like, I gave up mentally because I just knew I was going to lose this game because of the fact that these survivors are not really playing that well, but the fact that my controller is not acting right made me just like not want to play the game anymore. But because this guy made a really big error right here where he decided to actually go around the entire thing again, but he slowed down, he chose to go to the window, and as a result, he died. He should have kept playing the pallet and just tried to like maybe disable the drone mid chase, or maybe just run away at a good time. But he chose to run away when he got scanned instead of running away at a better time. So as a result, he got slowed down by 10%, and then he got chased. But this is sad because it's like I could have put the game for like literally 2 minutes, but it's kind of sad. But anyway, we're gonna kick this gen, and I'm gonna get one of my things destroyed or rebuild. And as you can see, my control, I think W again. Trying to place the drone, but I can't even place it because the game's like only can place in one spot. But also, we're not gonna let you place the drone because when you press the button, it's not gonna work. This girl's gonna try and save the guy on the hook. I'm gonna try and turn the drone so I can hit her, but it was too far away. There was just no way I was gonna land that. They save him, which is fine. I don't really care. It wasn't a scorch hook, so I can't even look around and see where the aura of other survivors are. But what I can do, I can try down this girl. She can go towards this really good, this really decent or really good palette. I can't really tell. This palette is kind of the same as the other palette. It's really annoying. But it's not really that bad to do with Score Merchant. You can deal with it if you know what you're doing. It's just the hard part is figuring out how to deal with it. I believe this girl's dead on hook. Yes, she is. So I believe the Fang Min's also dead on hook. I was gonna figure out where she is. I'm gonna put a drum right here so he become undetectable. I can see the guy's aura because he must have went next to a what's it called? He went next to a dropped item. So now my control is actually working. I can play the game. So I'm trying to either go after Fang Min. I know Fang Min's dead on hook, or at least close to dead on hook, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna kill the generator so I can get my challenge. Luckily for me, the survivors I got this time were not like the best, so I didn't have to worry that hard. But it was just the fact that I had to deal with this in the first place. I expected dead hard, but no dead hard actually happened, so I was like, oh. And I'm gonna hook her in the basement because she's right next to the basement, and I believe she's dead on hook. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain that she's dead on hook, or at least she's on her second hook. I hope she's dead. Let's find out together. She is dead. I thought so. Okay. So now we're gonna go after, I believe that's Leon and someone else who I can't remember the name of. And then I do the last gen. I'm like, well, I lose. Which is fine. I don't really care about when I lose. But then I figured out, this not really figured out, but I was like, well, I'm gonna lose. I might as well do my tech. Here's the tech. Now I'm pretty sure Scar Merchant is not the only killer that can do this, but I could be wrong. Scar Merchant has a really cool tech she can do where basically I can put a drone right in front of an exit gate. By doing this, I'm pretty sure the survivors have to complete the drone before they can do the exit gate, which is good because that means I can just look to see if my drone got canceled or not, or what's it called, if my drone got disabled or not, and then I can figure out where the survivors are. Very simple. Or the survivor is just bad and they accidentally run to the drone and I get a scan. But that is literally the whole tech. I know it's very simple. But the reason why it's so effective is because it kind of just always works. Now, I don't know if it's 100% guaranteed. Right there, you can see Leon just run into a drone. Then I know where he is. Now, to be fair, that's not what they're supposed to happen. They're supposed to literally do the drone, and then the drone just blocks the door. Because they have to just do the drone first before they can do the door. So I'm going to place the drone back here. And then I'm going to try and go after Leon, but I'm kind of also going to make sure I'm aware of where the other survivor is. So I'm going to put a drone inside of, not inside, near this loop, just so I have a higher chance of, like, killing them. The problem is, though, because I already have a drone here, I just decided to break the pallet. It makes more sense to break the pallet than it does to actually, what's it called, keep it up and try and just use a drone. How when we come on Tetable again, try and chase this guy. Luckily for me, he's unaware of my presence, and he's going to get chased. I'm going to drone right here thinking he's going to drop the pallet, but he doesn't. Instead, he decides to loop it, which is fine, but I believe after 2 more scans, he's going to get injured. Sadly for me, though, he's smart and he realizes that he has to run away from the drone area not to die. I'm going to try and watch to make sure I see my drones get touched or not. As you can see, this drone gets disabled, so I know there's a survivor over here because this tech is actually really good. I won't call it drone door tech. It's a dumb name, but we're calling it that. So I'm going to keep putting a drone next to the door, and the survivor has to do it. The other guy's going to try and crouch. I'm going to try and move the drone, make sure it's actually next to the door. I'm also going to try and make sure that I get the survivor's claw trap to make it easier for me to catch them. But the hard part is, even though I have the ability to tell where the survivors are going to go because they have to disable the drone and they want to open the door, that doesn't mean that I have the ability to actually catch them, which is why this game took so long. So right here you can see this guy is going to try and disable the drone. I don't know why these survivors are getting hit by the drone. All you have to do is be aware and disable and like make sure you actually what's it called? Make sure you actually crouch before you disable the drone. But for some reason he got claw trapped because he's unaware. So right here I'm like, well, I downed you. Now all I have to do is go after you and we're good. Now the reason why I didn't become untouchable right there is because I realized that I have brown noise generators. So this survivor is gonna become oblivious, and that's why he ran towards me because he didn't know where I was coming from, and then he died. So now we're going to grab this guy, and then this should be GG. And that is how we win this game, because of the drone door tech. Now, obviously, maybe I'm not the first person that actually has done this before. I don't really watch other people play Score Merchant, not to mention the people, like the streamers and YouTubers I do watch, none of them play Score Merchant. I feel like the Scroll Merchant player base is extremely small. So because of that reason, it's probably better than the Twins, honestly. But the Scroll Merchant player base is really, really small. It's more hate instead of love. So because of that reason, those people aren't going to play her. So because of that reason, I don't really know if other Scroll Merchant players are using the same exact tech. But I think it's really good. Now I'm pretty sure it's guaranteed to work always. Like the only killer I can think of that can do kind of something similar, maybe it's Demogorgon, because Demogorgon can put a I'm pretty sure Demogorgon can put his what's it called? His portals near the exit gates, and then Survivor has to do the portal before they can do the exit gate. But at the same time, I don't think it works that way. I'm pretty sure you can just walk over the portal and then you can just go to the exit gate, rather than Scroll Merchant where you actually have to go to the exit gate itself, press the button. If you don't press the button, then yeah, it's not gonna work. Now, speaking of pressing buttons, another time my controller is literally dying. Some of y'all might think it's your controller dying. That's the reason why your controller acting stupid. No, it's not that. My controller is bad. Like I mean, they're actually bad. I had a time where I was charging my controller. It was at 40+% charge, and then it literally died in my hand. And the reason why I was confused is because, like I said, it literally died in my hand while it was charging. How do you die in your hand while it's charging? I don't have the answer to the question. As you can see, we are Proceed 70, well, 67, so close to 100. We're going to get there eventually, guys, and I can put that title in every single video. But anyway, that was the first game of the video. Let's go to the second game so I can show you how great the build is with my controller actually working. And you can see maybe more drone tech if we get to the end of the game. Drone door tech. Okay, playing on the Eyrie of Crows. So let's get to the game real quick. So this map, I hate this map because this map is just so dumb. It's one of those maps where it's like, I think I mentioned, so I commented on a lot of comments in my last video. I mean, a lot. Like there's already 80 comments on the video, but and like I said, I respond to every single comment, so I have no problem with commenting or responding to comments. It's more like I had a comment where someone had said something. Oh yes, I was talking about how in the video with the nerfing Scroll Merchant, I had mentioned that even though they're nerfing the 10% haste to 5%, and that's literally annoying, it's fine. And the reason why I say it's fine is because I don't really need 10% haste to catch survivors. I mean, 10% hinder to catch survivors. The issue is the fact they're getting rid of the hinder and the haste, and they're reducing the hinder, but also they're also getting rid of the haste. That's the issue. And this is one of those maps where that getting rid of both of those things or lowering one and getting rid of the other one is terrible. Eyrie of Crows is like the dumbest map ever because a lot of the pallets are just so safe. And the best way to, like, not only so safe, but at least for Skull Merchant, they're so safe. You can mind game them, but having the mind game pallet every single time to try and get a survivor, when the whole point of this killer is to put traps in locations that make it harder for survivors to actually play the game, it's so annoying. Like, if she would have dropped that pallet, she could have just looped this area where she's looping right now, or a different area over and over again, and then go back to the pallet. It's so dumb. So right here, I thought she was going to drop the pallet, but she does at the last second, so I was kind of mad. She's going to go towards the shack again. I'm going to break that pallet later, because I'll break it later. Right here, I'm hoping I can catch her before she makes it to the window, but I know I can't. She's going to probably double vault it. She does. He slow vaulted it. Very smart girl, actually. She knows how to loop Skull Merchant. She's really good, actually. I always give compliments to survivors that know what they're doing. But it just sucks, like I said, it's one of those maps where it's like, even with this 10% slowdown and this haste, I cannot catch up to her. Until she makes a mistake. But, it's not because, like, of course she did really well chasing me. I'm not saying she's bad. She did really well. But it's also because of the fact that you have to realize that in some situations, this is impossible. So when someone commented and they were talking about, I think, Clown, how Clown can slow you down constantly and speed himself up constantly, how Skull Merchant doesn't really have a use because now she has to scan you 4+ times just to not even get a haste and then blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, you're 100% right. And I was saying something. This girl's oblivious. She doesn't know where I'm coming from. I don't know why she doesn't have eyes, but she's oblivious. She can't figure out where I'm coming from, so she got downed. But yes, basically they were complaining, and I understand that. But one thing the commenter said was the fact. Well, one thing I responded back to was I was like I said, 5% haste. I mean, 5% hinder isn't that bad, but 5% hinder on certain maps is not that bad. For example, like I said, Eyrie of Crows, 10% hinder plus haste, and I still can't catch up to you and down you because these loops are insane. Imagine playing on an even worse map that has even more annoying loops. Then Scum Merchant becomes useless. But then you have on the contrary, you have a map that has terrible loops, a map that has not the best palettes. 5% haste is more than enough to catch survivors. But 5% hinder is more than enough to catch survivors. But that's the problem with the game. The problem with the game isn't Scum Merchant's power is broken, has no counterplay, blah blah blah. The problem is the maps are dumb. Some maps are really good for a killer, and some maps are not. Maps are not made equally. One map might have a great, amazing loop that's like unbeatable. Unless you're playing like a killer who literally whole power is anti-loop like artist or something like that. But like with Skull Merchant, you have to scan them 4 times to even injure them, and then you only get a 5% haste now. That's bad. I can see on the ground that lady's that survivor's item is red, which means there's a lot of charges. I feel kind of bad. But anyway, it's fine because I'm gonna hit this girl and I'm going to chase her. Notice how this build is actually pretty good, and it's gonna get even better when they nerf distortion. Like I said in my last video, I plan to make a whole another video talking about and addressing some of the things that I talked about in the video about Stormwatcher getting nerfed. Right here is Girls gonna get Claw Trap. I'm gonna double up that window, that way she has to go this way and push her towards the window again. She knows she's gonna get scanned. She runs away to the next pallet, and because there's no pallet right here, luckily, I made her down her. I'm so mad. I saw that lady. I saw Storm Merchant swing right there, and it reminded me how my control was messing up last match. I hate that when that happens, but anyway. It's kind of funny. That hasn't happened in a lot of my videos, surprisingly, even though that's been going on for like 2 months. And I should probably get that fixed. I gotta figure out what the problem is. But anyway, we're gonna break this wall. Have you seen Storm Merchant's what's it called? Have you seen Skull Merchant's wall break animation from the Survivor's point of view? You'll laugh. Just look at that video, what Skull Merchant's wall break animation is from her point of view, from their point of view, and you'll laugh really hard. But anyway, this girl can go towards the pallet. Smart girl. I'm gonna try my game, but she's just like, no, I'm gonna drop it. I'm like, okay. And then they're gonna do a generator. I'm like, well, I have no gen defense on my builds. I'm not surprised. It's kind of funny though. When in the last match, I literally couldn't put the game and I had no gen defense, and yet I still killed everyone because of drone door tech. But it's just funny how when I don't use gen defense, I get survivors who aren't trying to do gens really fast, and then when I do use gen defense, I get the sweats who want to just do gens in 4 seconds. Like, it's just funny. Speaking of, the other video that I didn't watch yet, but I saw the thumbnail of it, and basically it was like gen speeds, or if you know what I'm talking about, then you can comment. But of course, I missed right here. Luckily, I did because of the fact that I knew the girl was here because of unintelligible, because of my claw trap radar. But because she's oblivious, she doesn't know where I'm coming from. But she had dead hard, but because I missed, she dead hard nothing, and I. Which is kind of funny. But anyway, what was I saying? There's a video where basically someone's talking about how gen speeds are a problem, but he's not. But he was saying, I don't mean regular gen speeds. I mean gen speeds when it comes to like how fast survivors can do gens, and then how much killers can slow down gens. And I was like, that's a really good video. I should probably watch that. I didn't really watch it all the way, but basically the gist of the video, what people were saying in the comments was, they said that survivors, they should just nerf toolboxes, and they should also nerf how many slowdown perks the killer can bring. And I kind of agree with that. But also, at the same time, I don't really think it's the slowdown perks. And they kind of already slowed down how gen speeds work. And the thing about gen speeds is there's not really much the killer can do to counter a survivor's gen speed builds, besides, of course, make them use all the toolboxes and kick gens. The only way to counter, this girl kind of just messed up. I said dead hard, but she didn't dead hard. I'm like, what? She doesn't have the side strike because of the fact that she what's it called, is literally on the generator. So I'm gonna hook her again and kill her. But it's kind of funny. Feel kind of bad, but she's dead already. But I was gonna say, there's not really much the killer can do about their gen build, besides like, kick the gen and make them use all the 2 boxes. Because survivors have lots of perks now, let them just regain all their charges. Or upgrade their toolbox and then make it even better to get more charges. Like, it's just kind of a weird balance issue where it's like this killer needs to use gen defense perks to win the game, but the survivor wants to use gen speed up perks so they can make the game that last minute as long because the killer is trying to slow down the game. I completely understand that sentiment, and I completely understand both sides. I just don't know how I balance it. Like, maybe, I don't know. It takes 9 seconds to do a gen. I'm mad because I thought I would swim right there and hit her, but she was like, no. It takes 9 seconds to do a gen. but it also takes less time if you're together and if you have certain perks and if you are level doing different things. She's gonna do the pallet and she's probably gonna go towards the window again, which I expected. But then I see her aura. I'm like, why? Why do I see your aura? I'm a little confused. I don't have anything near me, so why does your aura? Maybe she has object of obsession. I don't know, but I don't know why I see her aura. But she's gonna go to literally the corner. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, okie dokie. It doesn't really matter if you go to the corner. I'm just gonna hook you anyway. So why would you do that? But sure. But anyway, yeah, gen speeds are weird. I'm not. I plan to make a gen speed video. Like I don't really want to. Literally, the last video I posted was a rant about the upcoming changes. The video before that was literally a build where I used 3 gen defense perks and then dissolution because of the fact that gen speeds are dumb and survivors. And one of my viewers, he commented saying that he wanted to build or what's a good build to use against survivor friends who are just destroying him, and I was like, gen defense. Like literally gen defense and punish their altruism, but mainly gen defense because gen defense works almost in every build. And I do admit I don't want to use gen defense in every build either. It's annoying and it sucks. Also, I'm going to use my Floods of Rage right here to figure out what a survivor went. She went back towards the generator, which I expected because she wanted to do the generator and try and get it done. I'm like, no. So I'm gonna put a drone inside of this shack, and as a result, she can't really go here very easily. But she's like, I'm not going to War Shack anyway. I'm a run. I'm holding W. I'm like, smart girl. And I love when survivors are actually intelligent and know what to do against one merchant. Because half the time they just complain. But this girl actually knows what she's doing. She's like, I'm not even going to do that generator. I'm going to hold W and go to the spots where I know Scrum Merchant has not put any drones. Very smart. But the issue is, if she already has a scan line on her, that means one more scan will do, and I will get Cloud Trap her. But sadly, she only has one. No, she either has 2, or she has on her third one. I don't know yet. One more scan line will get her injured, or maybe it won't. I don't know until the game starts. Right here, I'm gonna try and just become unattackable and use that to my advantage. I expected her to try and like slow down and check to see where I went from, but she was gonna hold W, smart girl. So sadly, there's a power right here that did not ever break, which I kind of get mad at. One more scan line, and she gets claw trapped. She's gonna do the pallet on me, but she gets claw trapped. She'll go towards the main building again. Sadly, my drone cannot see her when she's inside the main building, so I kind of have to put it on another one, or I have to try and down her. Right here, I'm gonna just chase her. I hate this main building, by the way, because it just sucks. There's always a power in one of these spots in the top, and right here, my controller kind of just broke on me. I'm mad. I remember this part. My controller broke on me, and I couldn't swing or break the pallet. It was just making me go in one direction. So I was like, whoa. And then I ended up going in one direction, and then I accidentally ran into a pallet. Well, not really accidentally. I couldn't do anything about it. And my controller was like, no. But I ran into the pallet. I expected her to vault the pallet right here. I was right. I swing. I miss. And then I'm like, please slow her down so I can hit her. She gets slowed down. I miss her again. But because of the slowdown being lasting for 6 seconds, I am actually able to down her. And that's the reason why we need Scrum Merchant's Hinder to be 10 seconds. Because 10%. Because of that reason. But you're not going to do it. Because, yay. I'm a hooker. I might have to actually use battle targeting processor in every single game to turn the 5% into 8% just to make it kind of feel the exact same as 10% again. But we'll see what happens. So right here, the survivor's gonna do the last generator. I'm like, ugh, time to do some more door drone tech. But because of the fact that I can see her thanks to her item being on the ground, she's gonna hide in the corner. I'm like, ma'am, no. And I'm gonna down her. Now I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit her. One more down, and she's dead, I believe. I think this Fame Min's dead on hook, if I remember correctly. It's always the Fame Min. I feel like I see a Fame Min in every single game. But it's not funny. But, that girl can get saved. I'm gonna down this girl. I expected that hard, but she doesn't. A lot of survivors, like, they do this weird tech where they, like, try and go, like, inside their camera. That way, you swing at nothing, basically. Right here, I'm gonna go towards the hook that I just hooked the other girl at. That way, it makes them run away. I was hoping I can get a free hit, but I cannot. So right here, after that happens, I'm gonna go towards the girl who's already injured because it makes more sense to go after you, considering how you're already injured. I tried to use my radar and then switch the direction of the drone, but I instead accidentally swing because I'm bad. That's funny. That wasn't my control messing up. That was actually me being bad. So I see that she went to the exit door, kind of like in that direction. So I'm gonna go cut her off by going through the main building, and she's gonna go that way. She's gonna try and go towards this pallet probably, but I'm not gonna let her do it because no. I'm gonna try and get her before he goes to the pallet, but sadly she's able to make it to the pallet anyway. She doesn't drop it for some reason, and she gets scanned by my drone. I'm like, okay. Make sure to look at my radar so I can see exactly where she went. The other girl opens the exit gate and she's like, "I'm gonna save you, don't worry." But then the girl gets claw trap slowed down, and I'm like, "Where are you gonna go?" And she gets stuck because the fact she hesitated. If she didn't hesitate right there, she would have died, or she would have lived. Because she hesitated, she got down. And then the other girl's like, "Well, you're dead. I'ma just leave." And I'm like, I completely understand. So I'm gonna put a drum right here just for some reason in case the survivor decides to go towards that exit gate, but she leaves because she's like, "Yeah, I can't win this." And yeah, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry for it being kind of weird, and also if my commentary was kind of weird, let me know. I'm sorry, but I was trying to talk about a lot of stuff in one video, and also talk about the new tech I found, if it's even new. I don't want to say it's new and like it's not new at all, and I look like an idiot, but I also don't want to say that I found it first, even though I kind of feel like I did find it first. 'Cause I don't see anyone else doing it. So let's assume I found it first. I'm the best film merchant in the world. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.